What's up? It's your favorite gaming ninja, Darc Shinobi, and today I'm bringing you a brand new build. He's a former combat engineer turned Commonwealth killer and survivalist. Yes, it's the wrench. So we'll be going over backstory, starting skills and stats, armor and weapons, gameplay focus, and faction choice. And if you don't know what a combat engineer is, you can pause the screen right here. Darrell the Wrench Tipman was the son of a hard-working farmer. Early on in his childhood, he learned the value of laboring the land and took a liking to the mechanical inner workings of the family tractor. At the age of 16, Darrell overhauled his first seed tillage machine, which increased harvest by 30% that year. This eventually got the attention of a prominent engineering and computing school for the gifted in Boston, Massachusetts. After a 4-year program, the now 20-year-old Darrell had received many acknowledgments for his various engineering projects and advancements, even earning the nickname The Wrench. So much so that the government petitioned him to be drafted into the army and fight the good fight as a combat engineer. Reluctant to the call of duty, the young Tipman served honorably. His fellow soldiers were often saved by some reinforced fortification, disposal of IED landmines, or other mechanism crafted by the wrench. After a proper service of 6 years, the wrench retired the military to settle down with his wife Nora, who was the lawyer who also helped him avoid having to be re-enlisted. The two planned a life together, to raise their newborn son, and to live the simple life as they both had fought for. Unfortunately, war never changes, and the bombs fell, and we all know what happens next. Coming into the Commonwealth, the wrench will be geared up with 3 strength to have access to armor and have minor strength for melee combat. He'll have 4 perception to gain access to the demolition perk after obtaining the bobblehead in the beginning of the game next to Preston Garvey. He'll have 1 screw loose because we're only putting 1 point into endurance because the wrench uses tactical mechanic know-how to avoid incoming damage. And this also signifies that he's not a commando. He's on the front lines, but he's an engineer at heart. You'll want to slot 2 points into charisma to gain access to the Lone Wanderer perk after reading a special book in Sanctuary. We're fortifying our intel with 5 points to show Darrell's knowledge level and have access to the Scrapper perk, one of the most important perks for this build. We'll be adding another 5 points to agility so we can have access to the Action Boy perk and have a decent amount of action points for our Vats Hungry railway rifle. Finally, we'll be sliding 8 points into luck because while the wrench is tech smart, most of his engineering advancements have come from a stroke of luck more than textbook know-how. This also signifies that in his 6 years in the military, in the front lines digging trenches, and disposal of 263 landmines, he has never gotten a scratch on them. So there are a lot of skills in Fallout 4, but some of the skills you'll want to focus on for the wrench would be Rifleman and Demolition Expert, as well as Grim Reaper for your offensive perks. You'll want Lone Wanderer, Toughness, and Medic for your defensive perks. And as for your utility perks, you're going to want to grab Scrapper as soon as possible, and also grab Hacker and Locksmith so you can get around the Commonwealth and collect as much junk as you can. Now, as far as weapons and armor goes, this is one of the simplest builds I've done aesthetic-wise. Usually I have 8 pieces of armor, clothing on top of armor, headgear, but the wrench actually only has 3 pieces of armor and uses 3 weapons, keeps it really simple. Darrell the Wrench Tipman will be outfitted in Field Scribe armor, which you can get during the Brotherhood of Steel questline if you don't have the cheat menu mod, and the Tinkerer hat that you can pickpocket from Tinker Tom or loot off his corpse. The 3rd piece of armor is a mod called West Tech Optics, which I craft goggles for him, both cosmetic and thermal goggles. As for weapons, the wrench will be using the tried and true military wrench, the Ripper. We'll be putting a legendary effect on it for wounding because we're going to keep our strength low. We'll be modifying a combat shotgun to remain semi-automatic, and we're going to be a wounding effect on that, so we'll do immense damage at low levels and high levels without having to use big guns or any other type of heavy machinery. And finally, our prized and favorite weapon for this build, the railway rifle, if I can say that without sounding like a tongue twister. So this weapon actually was originally created by our character pre-war. He used to tinker around with it when he was younger, and now he uses it as a sniper rifle in the common. Now moving on to gameplay focus, the wrench is a different character. Usually I build assassin type builds and gunners, but the wrench is a combat engineer, but emphasis on the engineer aspect of it. I'm playing the character not for the combat of the game, rather, let me put it this way. When he first leaves the vault and talks to Codsworth, and he tells him that his 200 years has passed, he gets a little demoralized, but in a way that he definitely doesn't think his son is out there. When he speaks to Mama Murphy and she talks about the site, he just thinks it's bullshit. How can his son still be alive after 200 years? So he goes to Sanctuary and he just has the ideal of rebuilding the war. That's what he knows. As he sees the Commonwealth for what it is, he fights when he has to, and he's very good at it. But his main objective is to build up settlements, connect them, and really rebuild the world. We'll get more into that once we go over faction choice. But just know that this build is mainly a builder build, an engineer. Scrapper's your main perk. You want to build up settlements. But when it comes down to it, he can take someone out. I mean, you're using a wounding shotgun, which I'll also give you some bonus footage at the end of this video. When it comes to factions, the Minutemen is the obvious choice. They coincide with your ideals of rebuilding the world, creating supply chains, and really helping the people of the Commonwealth live a better life. I personally have been keeping away from Diamond City and the main story and trying to focus on building these settlements around the Commonwealth. Eventually around level like 16 to 18, I enter into the Automatron DLC and go with that quest line because by then you'll have some investment in the Commonwealth, and the fact that it's being attacked by these robots really concerns you. Not to mention you're kind of proud of your skill and you want to be known as the best wrench around. During this quest line, you'll eventually hear about a guy who's kind of out there but really knows his tech. And once you complete the DLC, you'll find the only clue you know, which is to follow the lantern. This allows you to stumble upon a railroad where you'll meet Tinker Tom. You can loot the headgear off of him, and this will also give you some ballistic weapons after completing a few quests for the faction. During your time in the railroad, you'll eventually, of course, hear about the synths in the Institute. This would now lead you to Diamond City if you haven't been there already, and you'll follow the main storyline with Nick Valentine. You'll learn about Kellogg, and you'll realize it's the guy who actually took Sean 200 years ago. Through following the main story quest line, you'll think it's only 10 years, and now you venture off to find your son. Following the main storyline and killing Kellogg, after linking to his brain, the Brotherhood of Steel will enter the Commonwealth. You immediately go to venture and see what's going on, and you quickly fall into the ranks of the Brotherhood. You have some of the same ideas about the Institute, and you believe that the advances in their technology can ruin the world once more, and you have a lot at stake because these settlements are under your protection. You are the general of the Minutemen, and you are the wrench, the rebuilder, the survivor, the last survivor. Just as a bonus to this video, I wanted to show you the wounding combat shotgun in action. Mind you, I only have 2 points in rifleman. The game is on very hard and I'm only doing low damage, but the wounding perk is legit. Check this out. So please let me take out this time to thank you all for watching this video. A lot of work went into it. I learned a couple new design tricks in the video, and I really appreciate you for watching. Please subscribe and comment below. Tell me what you like and love about it, and tell me what you don't like. Hit like if you do like it, and please follow me on Twitter. I've been posting sneak peeks of every build before I release them on Wednesday, and you can vote on or retweet and tell me what kind of build you want. Until next time, it's your favorite gaming ninja, Darc Shinobi. Tell your friends about me. Over and out.